Let's see if this works out. Can I move the small window? Not really. Live chat. Pop, pop. All right.
Am I interrupting?
You're all right. I'm just sending it, starting a live stream, but there's nobody in yet. So, hello.
I just want to introduce myself real quick. I'm Dave from
Hi.
Dave Make Stuff.
Okay. Hi.
We've connected online
Yeah.
from designs years back.
Yeah. So,
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
It's like your work. I've been off designing for about a year, so I'm just trying to get back reconnected to what people are doing. So.
Yeah, I've kind of been out of it for a bit myself.
Okay.
Okay,
but getting back in.
I'm deciding what to do. I'm focusing more on content because, not really anybody in stream at the moment. So the main reason was Fangs really fell off for me, and I wasn't really making any money from it anymore, so it's impossible to dedicate the time to.
Yeah.
So,
interesting. Yeah, I've been away kind of through that transition time thing. So.
Yeah, they've really moved to their membership setup now, and that's really hard to promote and figure out for me anyway. So just really didn't. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a story I'm hearing.
But I'd like to, but we'll see. So.
Good to
Hi.
Good to meet you.
Hi.
Have a good live stream.
Hi. All right, I'm hitting live. So just starting.
Hi.
Starting YouTube live. So.
Are YouTube live? Wait. Dave makes stuff. You know Dave makes stuff?
I do.
He's so awesome.
He is.
I love his stuff.
Just got caught off guard because I was starting a stream and I'm like, somebody to talk to.
Well, go and introduce yourself.
Alan, Mandic Labs, Courtney.
Hi, I'm Filming Stories.
Hey.
This has been such a fun event. There have been so many people here. I heard that they were 100 people away from having to go one in, one out with fire marshal. That's how packed it was yesterday. Wow. This has been an amazing event. And I always bring candy. I've never been out of candy. Out of candy. I have just a tiny bit left. This is all. Anyway, if you can come by, come by. This is great. If
Absolutely.
not, look at all there's going to be a lot of video up, I'm sure. A lot of people.
Yep. Okay. Speaking of which, time to show you folks who couldn't make the show. Let's go check it out. Anyway, can anybody hear me? Everybody all right? How's it going on this Sunday morning? Wow, my phone is jiggling. So, how goes it, folks? Want to do an audio check? We hear you? Cool. Working on the microphone. Hopefully it sounds all right. Hear you fine. Great. Awesome. Welcome to Rocky Mountain Rmrrf Festival 2025. It's the beginning of Sunday. The show is kicking off. Not nearly as busy as yesterday, and I am very okay with that. I was extremely, extremely overwhelmed yesterday. I literally didn't film a single clip. So, cookie cat, folks. Anyone showing vintage machines? Yes, there are vintage machines. No, there are not any flying machines this year. So let's just wander. I want to show you folks around. If there's anything you've seen you want to see more of, let me know, and we'll hit some more stuff as we go. I know I saw a handful of MakerBots on display, so I think it was over here. Box turtles available to show, absolutely. They have a new box turtle printer as well. But look at that, a whole lineup of vintage. Antstar 12, welcome in. Hello. Cupcakes, yeah, we got cupcakes. It was a fun little display. Speaking of which, we'll make our way over to Armored Turtle in a little bit, but I think they're a little swamped at the moment. Kind of reminds me that there's what's up, Zach? There is an interesting design over here, Antithesis Engineering.
We're thinking tool changer and making a super low cost version.
Yeah, man, a tool changer this smaller, well, I mean, a little bigger, but that's really good. And with the moving the bed, you can just keep the head over here. It's like
The head's going to be stationary. So.
yeah.
So what we were thinking though is, you know the body.
So Antithesis Engineering, that booth's a little crowded right now, so I didn't want to interrupt everybody. But I'm going to have that in the video. I filmed the segment earlier with them. So the tool head moves on Z and the bed moves on X and Y. So we're like cupcake-like, but it's core XY on the bed. It doesn't scale well. Like a 300 millimeter bed is going to knock your table over. But they are using PCB beds and also carbon fiber beds to keep the mass down and getting pretty like 40,000 acceleration on one of the units. So interesting. In the thick of it right now. So I wish chat stayed up better than it does. Oh, excuse me. Make our way through here. Excuse me. Thank you. Hedgehog Makes has a whole red table. Oh, sorry. A whole red table there with his signature filaments. Oh, we got BattleBots going. Yeah, I do need, the thing I hate about live on my phone, which is what I'm using because it's what makes sense, is it makes sense to use a really big hot end and big fans perspective. You get the point where you can't sustain big moves around. Yeah, like you can't move a big bed, but your tool head mass no longer matters when you're only moving the bed. So like you could run a tube conduction with an LGX and 75-30 part cooling fans, and it's not going to matter. Your bed is your weight that's moving in that point. So yeah, the problem with live on the phone is it only shows me your messages for like 5-10 seconds, then they go away, which is really not good for my ADD brain. We got a pair of Phoenixes on display at the Voron booth. There's Steve's Phoenix.
Well, especially for you to be paid for by the company. Yeah.
Steve's Cascade and the Development Cascade. Whoop.
You gotta change the pin masks. They're basically
Steve's Cascade is having firmware issues. They were trying to get it moving. That's what they're working on right now. So they're still trying to figure that out.
Is that the 600?
Something dawned on me recently with the move to the new studio. I actually have room to build a Phoenix now. So we might need to think about that. I was talking to Max about it, that we have that possibility now. So we'll see. Definitely check out Armored Turtle for a look at the AT2 and Snapping Turtle. Yes, we will get there. We will get there. Wonder if there's anything between here and there we should check out. Oh, something caught my eye. Just trying to think of things that I thought were interesting. One of the weak points of the, yes, Phoenix build, yeah. Definitely should. Awesome. Love to hear it. So Mandala Roseworks, beautiful CNC stuff. So, you know, kinematic mounts, V-core for XY joiners, and Soval SV08 adapter to a Voron 350 bed. So you get kinematic bed mounting and an actually flat bed, unlike that taco that comes from the factory on the SV08. So definitely an interesting thing. That SV08's a fun machine, really nice big Core XY out of the factory, but the bed is pretty awful. So Mandala Roseworks has you covered with a new bed option. So. One of the things that caught my eye at the show so far. Let's head to the other side. So this is a little more crowded over here, I think, at the moment because it's the entrance side of the show. The decibels quieter. Sam Prentice.
Oh, the guy back
Oh, Draft Shift Design. They're giving away a Draft Shift Design is going to be giving away a Stealth Changer, namely that yellow and purple one.
Show that it's easy to do. So, no, I'm good. I still have mine. Thank you.
I got Stealth Changers for the Stealth Changers on display. Oh, we'll get back to LDO in a little bit because USB adapter for your tool changer, stealth changer type designs. What firmware does the Cascade run? I forget. It's Gerbil. Gerbil How.
2025 Rocky Mountain Rmrrf Festival. At this time, anyone with a death racer that wishes to compete outside with the death racers and get ready to get about 15
Cameras could
minutes.
switch now. Yeah, Gerbil How. It's running Gerbil How. So,
Find the doors, ask somebody where to go, or follow the crowd.
Jim is making an announcement.
Today, the death racers right outside in the back of the building.
Okay, that's a great question, John. Any announcements for Big Tree Tech? Yes. We'll get to that in a second.
Racing, we need death racers outside, please. And if you're going to be in the crowd, now's a great time to get a good spot.
Okay, so is there an advantage to Stealth Changer once index drops? I think there is. Flow rate. I've got an index video coming from my trip to Bondtech last week in Sweden. So the index is not a high flow setup. Like, they've seen pretty good numbers with some filaments, but they're really claiming like 30 millimeters cubed, pretty much. So I would say if you need flow rate, then Stealth Changer still makes a lot of sense. And if you need flow rate with different nozzle sizes, once that becomes a little easier in Slicer, also, which was where it could really be critical. So if you think of a 1 millimeter nozzle for infill, having a dedicated tool head with like a Dragon UHF might make sense in a Stealth Changer setup, whereas index, you're going to be a little limited on flow. 30 is plenty for most. It is. That said, now Bondtech, I will say they were really hesitant to say flow rate numbers because they know very well that it depends, because it does depend. And I'm wondering if 30 is a realistic day-to-day number or if it's not going to be more like Volcano level, 25-ish. I don't know. I haven't tested one myself yet to know. So I think that's one place where it could still make a difference. And the other place would just be looks, of course. Index is a fun, neat looking, but it's going to end up being like everybody's got an index. And then, high temperature. High temperature could be another thing. So LDO is working on a Stealth Changer with CNC aluminum mounting options for the shuttle, they call it. So the carriage that swaps tool heads. So the index is a SLS printed housing, and I think they were saying 270, 280 temperature limit they're expecting. So if you want to run high temperature in a Stealth Changer like PPS-CF or nylon, polycarbonate, you're still probably going to want to go like Stealth Changer, I would think. So those are the things that come to mind at the moment. We're at Big Tree Tech. Let's take a look at what's new here. There is the new... Somebody's in the way. What I'm trying to get to. Directly in front of. Whoop. All right. Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. This is EBB 36, the next version, Gen 2, they're calling it. So you can see there is a whole lot more going on with EBB 36 now. So this is CAN and USB switchable. So literally you just put a jumper on and it'll switch from USB to CAN. So one board, you can run either setup. So you could have a bunch of these in stock, and if you want to run CAN on one machine, you want to run USB on another, you can. So you don't have multiple SKUs, or if later you want to switch, you don't have to, you can do that. It also now has a downstream port on it. So if you're running additional CAN connected devices or USB for a camera, a nozzle cam, or a eddy probe or beacon, you can run that right off of here. So that was one of the things that Nighthawk 36 had over EBB 36. Now they've got a downstream port on here. It's also, their main focus on this was redundancy and, not redundancy, but like it's internally fused in multiple ways on power and ground. So the idea was they know plenty of people make mistakes. They short these things 24 volts, sending it to a rail that shouldn't be getting 24 volts. And it's really heavily protected against that stuff. And that was a big focus of production was getting these things reliable so they're not popping left and right when people are making mistakes. You know, the EBB 36 as it exists is going to continue to exist. Gen 2 is just a new release, so it's a more premium version of it. And that one is plenty reliable if you're not sending 24 volts down a 5-volt rail. And now you have an option. This also has switchable fan voltage outputs. So I believe it's 24 volts and 5 volts. So your hot end fan, the Delta fans are really popular at 25 millimeters at 5 volts. You can actually run that off this now, which the original EBB 36 you couldn't. So that's a big thing. I'm excited about these and think I'm going to scoop a couple of these up for machines. They're coming out, I think they're saying like 30 days, 6 weeks, something like that we're expecting.
4 is 6 amps, and then this is
the new Nebula extruder. So this is a compact square body, but it's a, let's see if I can get this off one-handed. The cover on the front of it is magnetically held on. There we go. And it's a large gear extruder, but it's also a planetary gear reduction. So let me get it back on there. Whoop. It's got a filament runout sensor built in, so it'll work with your various applications that need that. But planetary gear reduction, large gear, so like similar to an LGX size of gear set. You've got a tension release there. You can tension adjust with a screw there. Come through with a flathead on the side and tension adjust. And yeah, interesting design. They're looking for a pretty reasonable price point on this thing. I think I was hearing like 40 bucks. And I think that's what caught my eye. Showing Vivid, it's still not ready to release yet, unfortunately, but Vivid is coming. Soon TM. And their whole line of, oh, there's also cryo grip plates now for Voron size machines and various other build plate sizes, not just your bamboo machines. So, Steve. Hi.
Hello.
YouTube live. So, anybody who couldn't make it. Yay. How's your machine going?
Good.
The Cascade getting
I think
firmware?
that's getting the firmware sorted out.
Cool.
I have a lot to learn on that one.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Yes. So. Stuart, say hi.
Oh, we have chat. I was looking for it. It's pop-up chat.
It's pop-up chat, and it goes away way too fast.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Is what it is. And
the joys of mobile streaming.
Yeah, and you can't pull it back up. So.
Oh. Is this in the YouTube app?
Yep. So,
hey,
is what
everyone.
it is. All right, onward we go.
See ya.
See ya. Okay, armored turtle time. Turtle.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna start having to add like concrete counterweights to keep this thing from moving. So
The Aurora Boris driver board, so it can drive encoders, it can drive up to 15 amps at 48 volts for motors that are way beyond anything we are currently running. That demonstration is 250,000 acceleration at 25,000 millimeters per second speeds with some NEMA 17s running encoders on them. So that's not even nearly what that thing's going to be capable of pushing, but interesting. So we got a big showing the expandability of Armored Turtle, of the, Box Turtle. I don't know why I'm blanking on that, but here we are. And AT2. I love this electronics box.
Water cooled kind of has to be when you have to change that line. Yeah. And it's really fast too. This turtle here was printed at 850 millimeters per second.
Wow. I was just
no tuning there either.
I was just about to ask if you guys did like a speed benchy on it.
Attention all, we have death racers that are going to be happening outside of the north hall on the east side of the building. That'll be
So AT2 is it looks Voron-esque, but it's 4-wheel drive, 4-motor drive, all-wheel drive. I think we're gonna have to wait for Jim to stop talking.
Over by LDO Motors. You'll see the death races. Should be a lot of fun. All right, see you out there.
I don't think that was Jim. Whatever. So AT2, enclosed. It's a one-off design. It's a flying gantry, so folks are going to say it's a Voron 2.4. It's not, but they're going to say that. There's no design language shared other than flying gantry. All-wheel drive motor design. Currently, it's mounted on ABS, but it's going to be ABS motor mounts, but it'll all be CNC aluminum on the final version. Nicely sealed chamber design. And they're seeing temperatures up to 100 degrees Celsius just from, the internal temperature, which you got a water-cooled Goliath in there to make use of the flow rate and the speed capability, and of course, cool down the hot end, because hot chamber temps means you're going to not have a good time cooling off filament, or, well, not your filament in your hot end is what I mean. So, CPAP,
This is a 5015.
I was going to say, yeah, it looks like CPAP, but no.
The tool head needs a couple modifications for CPAP to fit.
Okay. So you want to give a bit of the rundown on what the thought process was with AT2? What's the goal?
Sure. Yeah, so Robert's goal with the AT2 was to be able to more affordably print high temperature engineering materials. So the goal is for, polycarbonate plus materials and be able to print them fast and efficiently and just whip out the prototypes of engineering materials.
This is the minimum viable solution. We're going as cheap as we can here to be able to sustain those 100-degree chamber temps.
Cool. I mean, it's just, and of course, no active chamber heating, so you're just working, no active, the bed.
Just a whole bunch of fans under the bed.
Yeah, and just a well-sealed up chamber, and you've got...
very well. I think we saw after an hour and a half, the chamber temp was still sitting at 70 C.
Nice.
So with everything turned off.
Cool.
Also, if you don't want to go outside and check out the Death Racers, go over to the Makers Lounge. You'll find Joe Telling hosting a Meet the Maker panel. If you want to meet the maker, hosted by Joe Telling, the 3D printing nerd himself. Find the Makers Lounge, follow the signs to the back of the second building, and there's a really cool panel going on there if you don't want to check out the Death Racers. 2 very cool events going on at the same time, depending on what you like. Choose one, and I'll see you there.
Okay. I know I asked before, but any idea on when release?
Not yet. This is his debut at the show.
Okay.
LDO is interested in doing kits where he talks to them, but it's at alpha stage.
Yeah.
Only one in existence is going to need CNC mounts, or else this will start to get melty and droopy, and this print succeeded, other prints have not because there's starting to be problems. But con show problems. So.
But this validates validation, and so next step CNC parts. I think Robert's hoping to have more to put out in the fall.
Cool. All right, cool. AT2 coming from Armored Turtle, so fun project. One that caught my eye pretty early on in the show was the adorable little sus burner. It's really hard to tell on camera probably right now, but it's a wee little thing. It's tiny. So compact stealth burner for your Micron, your printer for Ant machines, and potentially maybe fitting a few more tool heads on a stealth changer on a bigger machine too. A little more compact design. So cool. Thank you to the folks at Armored Turtle. Onward.
Thank you, Alan.
Yep. Yes. Somebody said something about another. Oh, here's an interesting one. A bunch of teenagers got together and designed machines, and it's fun. It's hard to tell where one machine begins and the next one ends, but
I know. I love it. We're seeing polar printing. We're seeing all of it.
Polar printing, cantilevers.
Specifically, I had to see the four-headed monster.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here. Fun. Teenagers building up machines, just getting into this, learning. Some of them are building their first machines there. It's the first ones they've run, seen, had.
Also, If you don't
Yeah,
wanna go
it's
outside,
they're
check out
definitely
Death
like
Racers.
actively
Go
tinkering there, and that's fine. That it's
3D printing nerd himself, when they meet the make your pen,
it's fun to see people having a different go of it when it comes to 3D printing. Not all the polished products, but just like the here's what I got together, here's what I was able to put together. I think there's a sus burner running over here. No, there's not right now. The DLL PDF booth. There it is. But it's not running right now. There's the 3-lane box turtle somebody mentioned earlier. So a compact fit on top of a printer for Ant Micron. So leaf cutter tool head for the Ant head with a leaf cutter tool head. And fun colors from DLL PDF. All right, what else? What else? Oh, I know what else. I've yet to get over there and film something with them, but I don't know how to pronounce it. We'll get there in a second. I'll show you the bling machine. I know I saw photos online a bit ago of the machine, and it caught my eye for sure because it's ridiculous. But here we go.
Ooh, I wonder. That's exciting.
I'll probably fill in with some screws just so people can ask me questions.
No, definitely leave it open. Yeah, you want the questions.
Yeah, I'll do this belt. What's up?
Hello.
Staying out of trouble?
No.
No, good.
Perfect.
Serious
well, I'm
bling.
gonna come back in like half an hour.
Yeah,
and see it.
Yeah, if I think 20 minutes and double it,
Yeah.
Doesn't I talk to people like
Yeah, I mean, it's like 2 hours. You talk to us.
So,
It's like,
whoop, sorry.
I don't know how long.
So a lot of bling on that machine. I'm gonna try and feature that in the video. It's just CNC for the CNC. Like, hard to wrap my head around. So I'm gonna get a full talk with the designer of that machine, the Ston 3D CNC machine. Somebody asked about deals on Diamondback nozzles. I honestly haven't seen any. Diamondback is here, so is E3D, but I haven't seen any particular specials, deals, or anything like that. Unfortunately, not a lot. I don't pay attention a lot to like show specials. You know, I know they're running them, but I haven't really seen them because it's not why I'm here. So, little virtual production setup, like a budget mobile setup. Oh, what else? What else? I don't know. I know there's plenty that's catching my eye, but I want to try and feature a little bit of different stuff with you folks, maybe. So it's not just a repeat of whatever's going to be in the video later on. Duet, E3D, the Death Racers. So Sam's booth, I guess. Polymaker filament for the Polymaker filament. I'm playing a game of like you smack it when the lights hit. I don't know. Been a lot of folks giving a go at it. I don't know. I know there's plenty more to see, but I'm kind of floundering on my thought process of what to show you next. Anybody have any questions? Anything you want to see? Questions about the new studio, maybe? Only the video is unlisted on the channel right now, but if you've been on Discord or on YouTube, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you've probably seen we got the new studio. We're going to be moving in. Well, we are technically moved in, but it's literally just shove everything in and close the door at this point. Oh, here's a fun one. Popping in, so sad I couldn't be there. Hey, Fuzzy Tomato Head, thanks for stopping by. Hey, Jim. Come back to LDO in a second. Yeah, this is not cramped. It was fairly cramped yesterday because it was pretty darn busy, but today, not cramped. Pretty solid. Okay, print kits. print kits. So fun little printable projects. So new studio getting a dehumidifier. It's getting AC, so yes. The AC will function as dehumidifier. So print kits are hardware kits. This is the evolution of what Alien 3D used to do with their print project boxes. So you get a update on the tattoo studio. Yes, we'll talk about that in a second. So what's their tagline? We ship you the hardware, you print the rest. So they'll send you a hardware kit each month and design files so you can print your own fun projects. So we got one of these heat press insert tools, air hockey table, which is actually battery powered, wireless. Well, not wires. There are wires in there, but you don't have it tethered to a wall. Some lights and speaker design is coming soon. So printkits.com, fun little subscription box for those folks who don't know what to do with their printer. We all run into that time where you want to print something, but you don't know, what should I print? Well, printkits.com. Talking about working on building some of those on streams in the future. So look for that probably on the main channel, actually, not Mandic Labs. Tattoo Studio. So talking about that, I didn't film any more content around the Tattoo Studio yet. There will be more coming. It's up and running. Ruby tattooed yesterday or the day before. Day before, Friday. So she was tattooing Friday in there and had an interview with Oregon Public Broadcasting. And the studio's up and running. It's painted. I keep calling it bare bones, but it's a functional running shop and trims up. Everything's pretty much ready to go for decoration, which is where 3D printing projects are going to come in more. We've got a couple of projects we want to do in there. Architectural panel walls, 3D printed statues and like coat hooks and such. So there will be videos coming out of the studio probably in the next month or so. I'm expecting that to be some of the first projects we get to because as I'm building my studio, it'll be easier to film in her studio for a minute. So yeah, Tattoo Studio is coming along great. Excellent progress and hope to show you folks a lot more of it soon. A lot of folks have asked about that. It was one of those, I wanted to make more content while I was building it, but there was not a lot of 3D printing to really show off while I was doing so. And it was also running into the ever-present issue of everything you film takes 2 to 3 times, if not more, longer when it comes to projects, and we didn't have the time. We needed the shop up and running, so kind of is what it is. Love to hear good news. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Things are looking up. I keep telling everybody this weekend who's been asking that, I forget how I keep saying it, but life gave us lemons, we're turning into lemonade. Things are going to be better moving forward than they were before. And, you know, it was a blessing in disguise, all the crap we've gone through this year already. Except for losing Domino, of course, but beside the point. A blessing in disguise to see where things are headed. The new studio, Ruby's new studio. I'm excited for the possibilities, so. Ooh, I like this machine. Doomed up, yeah. Doom Cube Trident, Doom Cube Extrusion Trident, 9mm double T's 9mm belt setup with a common anomaly gantry. I didn't know you could do that. They did it. Makes me wonder if I don't want to do that on my Trident. We'll see. Hello. We got Luke's lab over here with a bunch of tubes. Yeah, tube tower. Whoop. So tubes for the tubes over here. Conduction, air, and Pika. So let's check out Pika. Pika is the bamboo hot end.
About 3. Probably like articulating stuff. No problem. 12 hours.
Something.
6 or 7.
And this hot end, since it has an extra melt zone, you can
Right.
actually take advantage of like 0.8 nozzles, and you can go even harder, like even faster. So
Somebody's looking at the Pika hot end right now. We'll talk about it in a second. But Luke's lab, I mean, tube, flow, and they're bringing flow of those hot ends to bamboo as well with the new hot end on Kickstarter right now. What else? What else? What else? Oh, Vertigo. Woo. So, bottomless, yes. No bottom panel on it. The bed lifts up like that. It's got squeegee wipers to wipe off the bed of printed parts. So when your print's done, run a macro cycle to lift up the bed, swipe off the prints, dump them down into a box underneath it, and your print farm can keep on running. Just run the next print, queued up. So I know I've seen this one online. I think maybe they're going to be doing a Kickstarter for it. I forget. But West 3D showing it off. I believe they're talking about maybe doing kits through West 3D. So, yeah. Whoop. Oh no. Reaper toolhead and a whole lot of signatures on a machine. And there's mine. There's Pika. Okay. Pika hot end for your bamboo machines. So let's switch around. Here's a fun design. So it's got a recessed heater block that recesses back in for a longer melt zone. So the melt zone's obviously from the tip of the nozzle up to around somewhere up in here. So you get more flow rate, obviously, from a longer melt zone. But also, it's got the stability of these titanium stability brackets to hold the heater block in place. Nice aluminum heatsink. And this is an aluminum heater block currently. The release version is going to be a copper heater block. So it will be. Right now, it's just aluminum. And I should have one of these, maybe this unit in particular, to test very soon. I think I might be leaving the show with it. Don't know. So Luke and I have been talking about getting my hands on one of these to add to my bamboo hot end roundup for a while. And hopefully I can walk away with one of, if not this one. I don't know. We talked about it yesterday or Friday, and I forget where we landed on that. Oh, this uses the fin nozzle too. Slice Engineering's fin nozzle. So, woo. And I forget what flow rate they're seeing out of them, but substantial. So, all right, it's getting a little hectic over there. And I don't know what else. Heyo, Daredockel, welcome in. Sponsor of the new studio, Prusa Research, Prusa 3D. Oh, perfect timing.
Trying to jump in.
Melissa from Cookie Cat, hello.
Hi, friends.
Welcome to YouTube stream.
Hi, YouTube. How we doing?
How's the show going?
Chat? Great. Really good response. People love our game. You played our game?
I have not played the
We
game.
gotta get you at that game before the day ends.
Before the day ends. I don't know about now, but I need caffeine.
Oh yes.
Caffeinate the hell out of myself for it.
Let's hit up that coffee truck.
There we go. So, all right, Wander. I don't know what else to say. What has been interesting to you?
The bot rumble.
Okay.
Have you seen those?
Yep.
Little bots?
We saw them going at it earlier.
So cute.
Yeah. I really like. I have no interest in like big battle bots, but the little ones.
Really
that seems like it could be a lot of fun. So. Missed out on Filament at the last Smurf. But I didn't have Filament at the last Smurf.
It was yeah.
But Vector 3D has Cookie Cat Filament in the UK now.
The filament guy.
In Filament Guy? Cool. And did I see something coming to EU maybe?
We're working on it.
Working on EU. So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. The people from Cookie Cat are lovely folks. They sponsored my trip to Smurf. And they were actually, Nathan from Cookie Cat was kind of almost upset at me that I didn't reach out to him about sponsoring the new studio. I didn't do so because I love them and I didn't want to be like hitting them up, be like, hey, pay for my new studio. But he wanted to help out and didn't get the chance. So bad on me. And I appreciate that was something that he was like upset about. It shows that they're good people in my mind. So there's a lot more here. There's so much going on. I need to get some of their TPU for our 1 pound combat robot. Yeah. I don't know. I maybe in the new studio, it's something we could consider getting into. The like tiny battle robots, like Angus's does with the ant weights or whatever, the little ones. Trying to remember what else. There's a lot of interesting stuff, but just not sure what's going to translate well on stream. Little stuff. Petty Rockspin, welcome in. Hello, hello. Maker coins for the maker coins. Maker chips, whatever. Chips for the chips for the chips. Green Gate 3D. Snapping Turtle. Snapping Turtle's the cutter, right? I did miss that. I didn't show the Snapping Turtle toolhead cutter thing because it's just a black box. It's really, really interesting. Let's go back and see. We didn't feature it. It's interesting, but it's also a black box, so it's really boring to look at. So for anybody who's not familiar, well, let's get to it and we'll talk about it. About building a Cascade. I didn't say I was going to build a Cascade. I said I might build a Phoenix. That said, I would like to build a Cascade. I won't do it till kits are available. So Cascade, they're looking hopefully the next couple of months release. But, you know, they've been saying that for a while. Same thing when it comes to Phoenix. They've been trying to get it released for a while. So I won't build either until kits are available. Just because I don't think it's that interesting for you folks if there's no kits. If I'm just building from like a pile of parts that only I have access to or whatever. All right, I got yelled at for not showing Snapping Turtle.
Of course.
So I didn't show it because it's hard to see anything. It's just a little black box. But, oh, there's a demo. I forgot.
It takes like a couple seconds.
Ryan actually doesn't remember
Or-
Thunder Keys.
So Snapping Turtle is a semi-universal filament cutter. Oop, dropped out of there. So you can see here we got a regular orbiter extruder, obviously no tool head, but just a plain hot end. And in between it is this little guy. And this can be put between like a Sherpa, an orbiter, maybe an LGX or something. Various extruder designs. So you don't have to have a whole tool head dedicated to a filament cutter. You have just this little guy, which can be supplied by, runs off 5 volt, right?
5 or 12.
And then just cuts your filament for you. So a macro run this cutter and do filament cutting without having to have a whole dedicated tool head to that. So it might be a more compact design of tool head, or you can upgrade an existing printer without having to change everything. So that is really interesting. I missed it earlier because like it looks unimpressive, but it's impressive what's going on inside. So, which is honestly kind of a selling point, you know, like something that does a cool thing but doesn't look that impressive is kind of a good thing because like You don't want a big, crazy thing with a gear that's running or anything where it's going to cause problems. It's all enclosed, sleek, get the job done. So that is Snapping Turtle. So cool. Okay, now we're done with Armored Turtle. All right. I don't know what else to show you folks. What else is going on here at the show? Whoop. Gee. Death Racers for the Death Racers. Alan. Alan from West 3D. Alan and Alan. What's been interesting for you at the show?
There is so much cool stuff going on. I'm looking forward to seeing the new stuff coming from Big Tree Tech.
Yep.
Because they're improving on some old favorites. Some of the new stuff that LDO is doing is very cool.
Oh, we forgot LDO. We haven't gotten there yet.
LDO. I'm liking what I'm hearing from the Deposition Sound speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go check out the Magpie, which is an open source printer. Very interesting. Yeah, it's down that way.
Cool.
Definitely worth checking out. There are tons of makers here with cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all over a great show.
Yeah. Solid show. Cool. All right.
See you later.
See you. I forgot LDO. I don't know how I forgot LDO. That's dumb of me. I haven't even made it to LDO booth at all yet. So I did like peruse a little bit. There has a few new products from LDO definitely on the way. So let's go check it out. Unfortunately, Nomad, Positron make it. Nathan from Positron's here. So let's see. Woo! Yep. Woo! Taylor, Canuck creator, Nero. I keep calling him Nero, even though he hasn't been using Nero for a while now. I think everybody does, don't they? It's always one of those like hard things to rebrand when everybody just continues to call you the same damn thing. Whoop. So, we got the expansion board for Leviathan, so we can run four of the 5160 drivers for all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. USB expansion board for your stealth changer setups. I got all these tool heads here plugged into the expansion board. So that's a fun addition. Oh, there's the expansion board. Leviathan expansion board plugs in off those pins there, extends it out. So it's a new product coming. Last I heard that was delayed due to tariffs, unknown. Box turtles on display. And Positrons. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Positrons.
Positrons? Where? Where? Oh God, where? I don't know. Right there.
Whoop. Sorry, chat, making everybody sick, flipping over. But have to give you the proper perspective on these little machines. Sooner or later, I'll actually get to building mine. Oh, and
This one right here is from Scotty from Strange Parts.
oh, right, the one from Strange Parts. So Scotty from Strange Parts. I think the video is down at the moment for reasons.
Back up yet. It was re-uploaded yesterday.
Oh, it's back
No.
up already.
Okay, so this is the printer he took to print the highest 3D print on Earth. So yeah, 3D printing up a mountain with a Positron because it's compact, easy to move, and fun printer. This thing, the Automate 3D for changing out your build plates. Cool. So it can load and unload build plates off of the rack system. So if you're running a print farm, you can automate your system to run a print, clear the bed off, load it up onto the rack, grab a new build plate, and load up the new build plate. They're looking at expanding potentially to other machines and other configurations and automations for your printing setup. But for right now, just a really fun way, simple way. And something I'm liking about this, we were talking about this last night, versus like the Prusa AFS or the Mosaic, I forget what they call theirs, but big, crazy, expensive machine setups is, switch camera. This is going to work with machines you already have, as well as machines that might come. So you're not stuck with like an AFS. I think it's awesome. It's really cool, but an AFS is an AFS. You're getting the machines that are in it. You're getting the whole system that's in it. This you could just put this to the next machine, get rid of the bamboo, go to the next machine, load up a Core 1, or then, whatever replaces the P1S can be a machine you can still use with this. So having separate systems is maybe a little more future-proof in my mind. If there's an upgrade and update to this, you can update this and not have to replace the machine you're using too. So I like that option going on here. So cool, love to see it. Folks at Hedamame having fun 3D printed headphones.
Yeah, that's because.
So I've really got to build a set of those. They sound excellent. I'm not a audiophile. Like, my hearing is not excellent, so I kind of don't get into that stuff. But they let me listen to a couple of them, including a new design they have coming. It's meant to be more for audiophiles. They sounded good to me. I just am not a very discerning person. Let's grab Taylor quick.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
What's something interesting you've been enjoying?
Okay. Armored Turtle's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, the Armored Turtle's pretty cool. The fact they're getting 100C in a printer without a chamber heater, just by enclosing the heck. Well, okay, the bed's the chamber heater. But, yeah. That's pretty cool. The Vertigo.
Oh yeah, 3D the automated layers thing. Yep.
Really cool.
Yep. That's the one I showed you. Wipes things off of the build plate. Yep.
It's just using 4 motors. There's like no extra servos. It's all kinematic, which is clever.
A couple of switches just to know position and go. Yep.
What else? Obviously, Boron stuff, Phoenix, Cascade. I really want to do combat robot stuff now.
We were talking about that a minute ago.
There's nobody near me. That's the problem.
I know. That's there's a pretty solid community in Portland, so we might have to start a little league or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's combat robots. It's like, oh no, I broke my combat robot. Oh well, I guess I got to put a new part.
Oh darn.
And then the XRP guys. I was chatting with them for a while. The XRP guys. They
do the Spark Fun stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I was talking with them for a bit. So,
I got to get over there. I haven't had.
Yeah, go talk to them. They're great folks.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's always a good show. Come out.
Awesome. They're working on the Phoenix right now. Let's pop over there, and I think we're going to wind down here. We're coming up on an hour on stream now. So if there's anything else you want to see more of, you haven't seen, let me know. We'll see about getting into it. Doc, hello.
Hello.
Inside the Phoenix. Development is ongoing with this machine. It's coming soon, TM. So a bit of a kinematic mount design on the extrusion, wire cut EDM. Rocky Mountain Rmrrf looks a lot less busy than Smurf. No, it looks it because there's so much more space. I forget what the number was yesterday, but they had thousands of people through here yesterday. So it looks less busy, but it's actually busier. This is also less busy than it was yesterday. Sunday Sunday is proving to be a quieter day than Saturday was. Saturday was very busy. The wire EDM. So, Rack Robotics right here. Yeah, Sunday is slower.
Exactly. That's really cool. Wow. Take a look because I do have that whole I realized that I designed and built gearbox so there's the gearbox.
This is the one that you said the gears were like tinier than our rods. Yeah, that's pretty small.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey. So we're live on YouTube. Folks wanted to ask, what's new? What's coming? How's development going?
Development's going really well. The new stuff that we have going on is our PowerCore V3. We've done a full ground-up rebuild again on our EDM power supply. So we've increased our pulse rate, our initiation voltage, and total power efficiency significantly. So right now it looks like we're going to be able to pulse up to 30 kilohertz, have 100 to 150 volt initiation voltage, which is basically just how long your smart can reach out. And then we have the power efficiency is greatly increased. So we're somewhere in the low to mid 90% as far as spark efficiency. So we're able to cut steel and titanium much more easily than we could previously.
Nice.
Just some of our tests cutting by hand has been really, really fun with that. We're excited about steel for tooling specifically. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool.
We've got the beta wire right here. So we've done some improvements on the beta wire. Again, a sort of ground up rebuild. We're dropping the idea of doing fish tanks for our builds, and we're moving towards the CNC aluminum frame. So we machined this frame and then got some laser cuts for it. Everything's type 3 anodized, so if you have any type of electrode break or some circuitry goes off in here, you don't turn your machine frame into an electrode.
Yeah.
It's much safer like that, but we're also using it to kind of build a Faraday cage. So what we're going to be able to do is have the internal side be, non-electrically conductive, but we're going to be able to bond the whole machine together electrically and ground that. So as far as our control systems and stuff, it's going to be a lot less interference from it when you're cutting.
Less interference from this, less interference for the machines that are running around it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Awesome.
And the new power core has a anodized and bonded frame too. So if we want to take a peek over here.
Cool. Take a look at the new power core.
So this is the new Power Core V3. This is almost ready to move into production. We have to go through some torture testing and get our fulfillment stuff lined up as far as like boxes and things, instructions. But so this is all CNC machined in our shop, Type 3 hard code anodized. So again, non-electrically conductive on this. You don't have to worry about that, but it's also grounded to the board and to earth ground for a supply.
This is
And then the whole thing, this one's not coded yet. It's still a prototype. But
cool.
Yeah, so about the size of the drive, we've been working really hard to get the size of the power core smaller for easier integration. And one of my favorite things about this is that we actually dropped the fan. We don't need the fan anymore.
I mean,
so
the whole CNC thing is heat dissipation is just the unit.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's so fun. But especially with the increased performance of the V3 and not needing to have the fan.
More efficiency.
Like
Yeah.
thing.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I just love it. It's really fun.
Awesome. Cool. There's your updates from Rack Robotics on the FunWire EDM project. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Sooner or later, I will definitely be. I've been waiting on them to they seem to be iterating so heavily, iteration or version over version, but I've been waiting to talk to them about setting up one in my studio. So it'll happen. Don't know when, but.
What's going on?
Hey!
Look.
Dueling lives.
Mandic, he's doing live right there too.
Yeah. Liveception. Yeah. I don't really know what else to show you. I know there's a lot more interesting stuff going on here, but I want to get back to filming video about it and give things a little bit less hectic live atmosphere going on here. That is a big bender. That's a big bender. Try to think. What else?
Where do I start?
Oh, the Magpie. There it is. The open source. Looks like kind of a bigger version of a Rook to me.
And I'll be updating the GitHub later today after the convention when I get a moment.
Cool. And I think that might be where we're wrapping up. So one last little look around here, see if anything catches my eye. Oh, Angel's flying, it looks like. Judging by the attention over here, I think Angel is flying. Loud. 8 motor 8-motor cross gantry design. I showed that last year, but they've got it up and running some serious printing. I think they said they're in the 3 minutes on a Benchy right now, somewhere in the 3-minute range. So, jonky belts, yeah. There's a lot. Motion system is flying on that thing, so there's a lot going on. I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for this one, folks. Like, there's a bunch of filament and fun maker projects.
Welcome once again to the 2025 Rocky Mountain Rmrrf Festival. Just a quick heads up, 1 o'clock p.m. The drag racers will be ready to go. If you're drag racing today, we need you outside at 1 p.m. to race. That's about 25 minutes from now, it looks like. Also, in the Makers Lounge at 1 p.m., we have a business panel with KB3D, Luke's Laboratory, West 3D, and 3D Musketeers. We're going to be an awesome talk in the Makers Lounge. You don't want to miss that. If you don't want to go outside, that's the place to be. So check out Drag Racers and also Makers Lounge Talk.
Cool. So, I think that's it for Rocky Mountain Rmrrf Festival 2025. We just crossed an hour of stream, so nothing else really jumped out at me as a big deal. There are plenty of things, absolutely, I want to talk about, but I'm going to see about fitting them into a video. Probably be here on the Mandic Labs channel. Anything at Prusa? Prusa, we got the Core 1, we got MMU 3 set up on a Mark 4 and an XL. Nothing new. I was hoping to see MMU 3 on the Core 1. They didn't have one set up at the booth, so I got to talk to them about that because I'm thinking one of my Core 1s in the new studio needs a Mark MMU 3 on it because why not? So, all right, folks, I think that's where we're going to call it on this one. Yeah, I'm off to see about filming some more content for a video and give my voice a break for a little bit. So, any new domestic filament makers? Nope, not that I've seen. Nobody that I wasn't already aware of. Import products, but I mean, I also haven't talked to filament makers that much, honestly. I don't do that much at the shows just because, I don't know. I don't know why I don't. But I did see one brand I'm going to show in the video. It's got co-extrusion in 3 kilogram spools, which is something I wanted for quite some time because big prints, you're running out of filament. And if you're running co-extrusion, you can't get colors to match if you're going from one spool to the next. So interested in big spools of that. So, all right, we're going to call it here, folks. Thank you for coming around. Thank you for joining me at Rocky Mountain Rmrrf Festival 2025. And we will see you all later. Woo. If I could figure out how to turn this off. Steve from Hubel.